welcome back to my channel where we're about that breaking cycles life. I hope you guys are good and ready for the day ahead, guys. Wow, it's getting colder. I like it, I'm a winter baby. Yes. Um, but for today's encouragement, guys, we are going to be, as you can tell from the title, we are going to be talking about submission. And I know this is a very touchy topic, especially for females, my kind of females, right? That we're not necessarily the easiest of going females, right? But we're going to be speaking about it today. I'll speak about the marriage aspects or relationship aspects on Sunday, right? Guys, I'm going to be speaking about it from um, James 4 verse 7 perspective. And James 4 verse 7 says, therefore submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. And I'll even go further to say, draw near to God, that's verse 8, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Submit to God. That's not an easy thing to do. Okay? Really not an easy thing to do, and I'm pretty sure you males or females can agree with that, right? That it's not easy to submit to your will, because submission means accepting or yielding to the will of someone who is superior to you. And I think all of us has gone through that phase, of that teenage phase where, mommy or daddy is telling you to do something for your own good, and we're fighting them. We're being the most sassy. We're just doing the most and not listening to them, right? And it's when we get into adulthood, we're looking back and we're like, oh wow, mommy had some reason to say that, or daddy had a point right there. And it's the same process with God, right? And yielding ourselves is to even at first accept the fact that he is our authority, right? He is our first line of authority. And guys, accepting that we are not in charge of ourselves is a very hard thing for us to even fathom. It was super hard for me to fathom, because I am so independent and I like to plan my life, right? And I like everything to go accordingly. But when I met Jesus, and I grew up in the church, it's not to say that I met him because I was outside of the church or anything. But I was inside the church and I thought I was doing well. But then in 2016, when I truly met Jesus, he was like, no, ma'am, no. You're not in charge, I am. And I'm like, who are you? I'm like, who are you? So, of course, the stubborn old Shanique would, and I've told you this many times in my previous stories or previous videos, right? How God would tell me to do something and I would do the complete opposite. Similar to Israel, right? And he fought a lot with me to get me to this point where I can safely say, I am submissive to God. I am very submissive to God. Like, yes. And we thank God for that, right? And guys, I can totally understand if you are going through that struggle. It's not easy, especially when you're someone that likes to plan your life, likes to have it in order, you're organized, oh my. And the moment someone comes and disrupts it, it's like, what is going on? Like your whole world is just ruptured. And you need to understand, like, why would you do that? Trust me, like, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? It doesn't go according to plan. And I've had this conversation many times with God. Why are you doing this? It doesn't go according to plan. But I've learned over time, and I know you can too. So Jayo, that means like you can do it in Chinese. Jayo. guys, you can do this, because over time God is so patient. He's so patient with Shanique. I'm telling you. He is so patient. He's so patient that he will see you literally fight him. And I got so surprised so many times, the fact that I literally saw his hand in my life blocking my stubborn nature, right? And it's through his patience, it's through his love, and his constant reminder of his care and how his plan is better, is that when I see his plans fulfill in my life, I'm like, you know, you're right. Your plan is better. And it caused my stubbornness to decrease and my submission to increase. Like, I'm not telling you that you can just easily throw away your stubborn nature, throw away the fact that you're independent, throw away the fact that you don't know how to not control your life. Like, it's a part of our nature to do this. But if you really want to do it, even if you are stubborn like me, I'm telling you, still tell him. Like, this is what I would usually do. I would pray and I'm like, God, let your will be done. I still pray that up to this day. I'm like, Lord, let your will be done. And then my stubborn, sinful nature would still go and try to do Shanique's way. But then, in still praying and talking to him, you would see that, okay, yes, he understands that it's hard for me to let go and let God so easily. But he literally puts his hand in my life and stops it when my nature is going to wreak havoc in his plan. And it's at that point that I realize, oh my gosh, this is really God. I should stop, right? And because I am of the belief that, you know, if it's God's will, anything that I try, it will definitely not work if he doesn't want it to happen. And it doesn't matter what I do, if he wants it to happen, it will happen. So even if I fight his will, it will still happen, you know? And if I fight to do my will, his will ultimately prevail, because I pray for his will to be done. Like, I'm very complex. I don't know how you're praying for God's will to be done but still doing your own thing. I'm pretty sure you can resonate with me out there. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who does this. And if you're like me, just continue, because you see his hand in your life, just as how I've seen his hand clearly in my life. And in doing that, guys, my submission increased over time, especially since I set foot in this country, China. I'm not joking, because I would get so angry, so stubborn, and want to. At one point, I was so adamant on leaving this country. I'm sorry, China, if you're Chinese and watching this. Yeah, I was at one point very adamant on leaving this country, right? I did everything in my own power to leave, and it wasn't until God literally gave me no after no after no, like rejection. I think I applied to about 10 schools in the US and in Canada, and I did the GMAT exam, and he failed me like, I'm telling you, my practice exams are good, but my final exam was terrible. I was like, what is happening? And I was not nervous. And I'm like, he gave me rejection. And he told me, guys, to come to this specific university. I applied to about 3 or 4 more, right? And then I got rejection. And the only school that accepted me was this school. Like, I'm telling you, my stubborn nature and the fact that he literally told me what to do, and I fought against his will. And when I saw his will come to pass and be fulfilled in my life, guys, I just had to be like, you know what? Okay, for the next one, I'll just do your will. And that's how it's brought me to this point where I told you earlier, I can safely say, God's will, not mine. And that's how I learned to submit to God. And I'm not telling you it was easy. This is what, like 5 years now, 6 years? I've been struggling with God, and I'm telling you, He has patience with this girl right here, right? His back is very broad. His back is very broad. He's a very strong God, right? That's why I admire Him so much. Yes. And over time, I've learned that, okay, yes, His authority, His superiority in my life is greater than what I could ever think of doing for my own life. And now when I speak to God and He tells me the plans that He has for me, and He's like, okay, Shanika, I want you to do this. Oh, I want you to do that. And I'm like, okay, fine, sure. And I'm like, I don't know where the money is coming from, or I don't know where this is, how this is going to happen. But you said it, I'll write it down, it's going to happen. And I know your will be fulfilled in my life because I have seen it in my life before. And I'm pretty sure, I'm urging you guys that you can experience the same. Honestly, just submit to God. And in doing that, guys, you'll realize how much you'll grow closer to God, and it will be so easy to resist the devil, and the devil will flee from you. In submitting to God, guys, and doing His will, you will see people come to you and tell you, oh, they see the presence of God in your life. And I've gotten that. It's not to gloat. I am grateful, I am humble that someone can say that to me. I'm truly happy. The fact that they say that to me, like I'm looking at God, I'm like, thank you, because it's only Him, right? And it's in that you grow closer to God, and in growing closer to Him, and in respecting Him more, in loving Him more, that whenever the devil comes to that temptation, you're like, you're not worth it, right? You're not worth it. You're really not worth it. And that love that you have for God will grow, and you will be so covered in His presence that the temptations, as much as they will come, they will not cease, because the devil keeps working every day. But it will be so much easier because you let God live in you, you submit to His power, and you submit to His will for your life. You listen to Him, His voice is clearer in your mind. So the temptation, you will always find the way of escape and not yield to that temptation, guys. So yeah, submit to God. It's not easy. God has been working on me for a very, very, very long time, guys. I'm telling you. He is patient, and him back broad, but but yes, guys, I really urge you to try submitting to God. It's not easy. It's really not, but it's not impossible as well. And your stubborn nature will fight it. It will fight it. I'm not lying. It will. But keep asking Him to let His will be done in your life. Because if you keep doing that, at one point, your stubbornness will decrease and your submission will increase. Okay, guys? So have a blessed day. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's encouragement, and I hope you guys are ready for the day ahead. Now do me a favor and press that like button and subscribe button if you are new, so that we can get more of this positive Christian content out into the world, okay? And I'll link my daily devotional playlist right here and my Let's Talk playlist if you want to tackle some social issues, okay? So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.